the downtown streets of Elkhart Lake as we kick off round 5 of Pirelli GT4 America. And we've seen dominance this season, we've seen surprises this season, and we've seen, oh my goodness, did that just happen this season? But will there be a kink in championship hopes? Let's go to Ryan Marine and Calvin Fish for the answer.
Thank you very much, Amanda. And wow, wonderful to be back at Road America. Love coming to this place in Pirelli GT4 America and Road America. It fits really naturally together. We're in store for a fun weekend.
Certainly been worth waiting for. We get back to racing once again on a circuit, the longest we've run out all season long, just over 4 miles in length, 170 feet of elevation, change 14 corners, the most mega challenging corners you'll find anywhere in North America. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, from one of the most epic tracks in North America to another. The last time out, we were at Road Atlanta down in Georgia. Let's take a quick look back at what transpired the last time Pirelli GT4 America was on track. Sunny skies over Atlanta, Georgia, the last time Pirelli GT4 America was on the track nearly 3 months ago. And the action was fierce from the word go. Michael Cooper looking to sweep the weekend for Black Dog Speed Shop, had the overall pole position as the field funneled into turn 1 for the first time. Fierce fights throughout the pack, and in GT4 racing, a little bit of contact is not out of the ordinary. Everyone able to continue on from that one. Jonathan Newdorf on the charge here in the early stages, getting around Harry Godsacker into turn 1. Then Michael Tosi locks it up down into the chicane, knocks a couple of cars off track, and that Mustang would receive a penalty. Tyler McQuarrie, Stephen McAleer, a couple of BMWs doing battle at the bottom of the hill. M-Class lead changing places here just before the pit stops. James Clay taking his car to the front. Cooper out from the lead of the race. Tony Gaples would get in to take the car to the checkered flag. The brothers Garcia reclaimed the M-Class lead, but everything got turned on its head with this moment in the second stint that brought out the full course yellow. On the restart, Gaples from the overall lead was fighting to make sure he stayed ahead in Pro-Am. The door opened to the inside for Spencer Pumpelly to come through and take the overall lead of the race. Problems here for Matt Travis. Took a contending car out of contention. More intra-BMW battles mixed between a couple of different classes, including the top 2 in AM. But again, Garcia able to hold off the challenge. Nolan Auer, newcomer to the championship, made some contact there with the Riley Porsche, which went around, but at the front of the field, Spencer Pumpelly took the overall win. Black Dog took the win in Pro-Am, and Michael Cooper became the co-winningest driver in SRO America history, tying Peter Cunningham. No shortage of thrills and spills in Atlanta. Then the nearly 3-month break, which comes to an end here today at America's National Park of Speed, Road America. Picture perfect conditions, temperatures in the 70s with just some fluffy clouds overhead, but by and large, a really pleasant day to be at the racetrack. And a great grid of GT4 cars about to be turned loose for 1 hour of racing here at Road America. My name is Ryan Marine. Calvin Fish is alongside. It's Amanda Busick down in the pit lane. These are the conditions. Chamber of Commerce weather, 78 degrees in the air, 93 degrees on the track. Some humidity, yes, but you can't ask for a much more pleasant day to be trackside.
No, it's like a breath of fresh air, literally, Ryan. I mean, coming from the south where I live now and coming up here and enjoying this beautiful weather. Such a treat to be back here. Just extraordinary, and can't wait for the racing to get back into action. It's been a long break, as you said, 11 weeks.
Yeah, too long as far as I'm concerned. Everybody chomping at the bit, ready to go again. We've got a really stout grid of cars that are waiting to get the word to go. Drivers having a couple of moments to exchange pleasantries before they go to battle. Shows the collegiality within the Pirelli GT4 America field. Let's talk about this racetrack, though, Calvin. 4 miles around 14 turns. Road America, one of the best.
Absolutely. Just love the racetrack. Just creates so many passing opportunities. Ton of elevation change, which really adds to the challenge here. You can see 3 really big straightaways coming off the last corner, up past the start-finish line into turn 1, down into turn 5, and obviously down into Canada corner, which is known as turn 12 as well. Big compression in those brake zones. You got to get it right, but there's certainly opportunity to go side by side through a lot of the corners here. And I'd say the kink and certainly the carousel, 2 of the most unique and challenging corners you will find anywhere on the planet.
Now they'll get your attention pretty quick, that's for sure. Should be a lot of fun to watch the 30-plus field of GT4 cars go to battle here in just a few moments. This property turned into a racetrack in 1955 after racing outgrew the city streets of the village of Elkhart Lake back in the 50s, and it's been a classic ever since. Now let's head down to the grid and check in with the third member of the team. That's Amanda Busick.
Hey guys, what a beautiful day to kick off race 1 in Pirelli GT4 as we return from summer break. We also had kind of a minor kickoff yesterday at the parade in the downtown streets of Elkhart Lake. Actually, we ended up catching up with the co-driver of our pole sitter today, Erica Hoffman. She was our walk and talk that will be featured in the race yesterday. But as you guys said, the storyline coming into this weekend was based off the effort of this team right here, of what we saw in Road Atlanta. Tony Gaples getting his accolade out of the way as we entered into the weekend, but Michael Cooper stepping in and this weekend with the ability to become the winningest driver in SRO history. How much have you thought about that since Atlanta?
Not too much, except for when interviews like this have popped up, but it's definitely been on the mind a little bit today. Getting the pole this morning for tomorrow was important. Tony being on the front row for today was important, but feeling a little fierce after our car took some penalties between qualifying and now. So I think you're going to see a very aggressive Michael Cooper. And if you think you've seen aggressive so far in the first 43 wins in this series, you're about to see a lot more today.
There was also aggression that we saw in Tony Gaples this morning, as you said, in his qualifying effort. I asked him what he had for breakfast. He said off the rails downtown Elkhart Lake. What did you just say to him as you were strapping him in this race car?
I don't need to say much to Tony, especially around here. He's got more laps than anyone around here. This has been his home track forever, so he's always been like right on that buffer of a second to me. So I tried to push it over that this morning, and yeah, he's doing an incredible job, and I think he'll get it done today.
We were talking to Ray Sorensen earlier today. Apparently, Michael Cooper has a birthday coming up next week on the precipice of history as we kick off race 1 here at Road America.
Well, some pretty bold words there from Michael Cooper, who has some history to make this weekend, as Amanda alluded to. When motivated, well, just full stop, Michael Cooper is a really fast racing driver, but when he's motivated, when he's got the fire under him, look out.
Yeah, and we could see some fireworks in the second half of this race, particularly if the McLaren has taken a little bit of a BOP hit since qualifying, and they were pretty dominant, and certainly in the second session. It was a 1-2-3 from the McLaren brand, with Michael having a pretty healthy chunk of advantage over the rest of the field. But if they're struggling a bit, typically it means you're a little bit slower on the straightaways, so you could suddenly see him having to come from a little bit deeper in the pack than he anticipated after quali.
35 kilos, I'm told, is what had to be bolted onto the McLarens, which across the board were fast, not just the GT, excuse me, not just the Black Dog Speed Shop car, but across the board McLarens have been really quick. The overall pole sitting car, though, belongs to the Kelly Moss team. Big brothers, big sisters of America, partnering up with the team here this weekend, and Erica Hoffman, one of the drivers. We'll be covering that throughout the course of the weekend, and she has a different co-driver than we've become accustomed to seeing here this weekend. Riley Dickinson, who's a longtime Kelly Moss driver. He races for them in GT World Challenge America. Got the call to fill in for Paul Bocuse, and boy, did he repay the favor, because that car was the quickest in qualifying this morning.
Yeah, it really was, and the talk and the chatter after practice here yesterday was that the McLarens and the Porsches looked really quick, and they certainly put that right in quali here this morning. So Riley as a sub is sitting on the pole, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can hang on to it.
Saw him in that car at the endurance race back at Circuit of the Americas, finished just off the podium in 4th place. They've got a great starting position for race number 1 here today on the overall pole position. Other stories to keep in mind: Weston Workman's qualifying effort deserves a note. That car was given a 5-minute hold penalty at the beginning of qualifying. They overcame that to start second in class, 3rd overall. One of the cars to watch for sure in the race as we head back down to the pits. And Amanda.
You know, guys, we've been talking about the dominance that we've seen in this series this season, and that definitely goes to Spencer Pumpelly and Luca Mars, but a little bit of a kink into the weekend kicked out y'all's adventure in a backup NOLA Sport car. Want to first, like, everything that happened and talk about the sportsmanship.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not how we expected the first session to go, but the team's awesome and Spencer's awesome. We were able to move through it pretty fast, and huge thanks to the Motorsport guys for letting us have this car for the weekend. We'd be pretty screwed without it, so huge thanks to them. And then there's a whole RS1 team working all day yesterday, all night to get this thing ready. It was fast in qualifying. We made some more changes to it for the race, so I expect us to be a little faster in the race and move up a little bit and try and maintain or extend the championship lead. I mean, I know there's a lot of fast guys here. That Supra's quick, so we're going to be racing them all day and just go out there, have some fun, and try and get the win.
Well, guys, if you did not hear, that was 33 GT4 machines coming to life down here as we set off for race number 1 at Road America.
Thank you, Amanda. Great to hear from Luca there on a hot streak unmatched by anyone in Pirelli GT4 America right now. He and his co-driver, Spencer Pumpelly, 5 consecutive wins coming into this weekend. That's given them a 39-point edge in the Silver Class Championship entering this weekend. But as Amanda noted, little setback going to the backup car sourced from a rival team. Here's the starting grid. Riley Dickinson on the overall pole position. Pro-Am pole to Tony Gaples, but that car has been handed a extra bit of ballast since qualifying. We'll keep an eye on that. Then it's Weston Workman starting in 3rd place. Austin Jers alongside. Yves Baltas, strong qualifying effort for the ACI Motorsports team. Then it is Spencer Pumpelly in the backup car. Kevin Boehm starts in 7th today. Sam Craven has a different co-driver than usual. Thomas Merrill will be joining him. More on that in a moment. Michael Tosi starting in the top 10 overall in the best placed Mustang next to Bruno Colombo. M-Class pole, James Walker Jr. for Bimmer World starting 11th. Chris Wilson will start alongside in 12th. Then it's Matt Travis for NOLA Sport and Alan Patton in the Dome Motorsport Mercedes. 8th row, Michael Garcia on a hot streak of his own with his brother Alex. Then it's Carl Thorman alongside Frankie Muniz for Tech Sport Racing, looking for another podium next to Kevin Clifford off Leash Motorsports and the Mercedes. Michael Petromalo for Bimmer World next to Lonnie Unser in row number 10. Demir Hott will line up alongside Alessandro Chiocchetti, ACI Motorsports and Brian Herta Autosport respectively. Zachary Lee starts 23rd overall next to newcomer Christian Bach. Welcome back to Racer's Edge Motorsports. Laura Hayes starting 25th next to Chris Spada in a Mercedes and Supra respectively. And it's Roland Krines for Auto Technic, Anthony Gerasi for the Rafa Racing team, back on a partial schedule this year. Joe Catania starting 29th, Jonathan Parashon out in the 30th spot. And out back, Denny Stripling didn't get to set a time in the qualifying session. That is one of the AM-Class front-runners in the championship. Certainly will be a car to watch. I take that back, they did set a time, but it came early. Then a technical problem in qualifying forced them to park the car, so really no representative lap time for one of the fastest AM-Class cars we've seen all year.
Yeah, and obviously we've got to wait and see how those McLarens now stack up. You've got a couple of them on the front 2 rows of the grid to see if they struggle to keep up with the Porsches and the Toyota that starts on the 2nd row. But lots of interesting dynamics with the mix-up of the classes alongside each other on the grid.
That always is fun to watch in this championship, how the classes mix together. Our friends at Cielo Vision, one of their guests here this weekend, has the privilege of waving the green flag here in just a few short moments. We are not too far away from the first race since the middle of June for Pirelli GT4 America. Long break in part because the SRO world all takes a beat to turn its attention to the Ardennes and the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa, but that break is now behind us. We're about ready to go with championships in all 3 classes coming into focus. This, though, a pivotal weekend, just 6 races, including this one, left in the 2026 season. Riley Dickinson making just his 2nd start this season in GT4 America on the overall pole position in the Porsche Cayman for Kelly Moss. Tony Gaples, best Pro-Am car by a wide margin in qualifying. He'll line up alongside. And it's Weston Workman and Austin Jers, Yves Baltas and Spencer Pumpelly, Kevin Boehm and Sam Craven. Everyone about to go as they come up the hill, just waiting for the wave of the green flag as soon as Riley Dickinson picks up the pace. All eyes on the Porsche to the inside lane, and now he starts to accelerate away. Pretty good getaway as well from the 2nd row. Weston Workman already challenging for 2nd position.
Yeah, it looked like Gaples responded to the pole sitter's jump there nicely, but Weston's done a really nice job from the inside of the second row of the grid. Looked like Baltas is trying to go with him. Gaples around the outside, really tight there. Everyone keeping it clean. Couple of cars off and wide. Third one joins them.
Everyone able to rejoin the pack, though, and do so cleanly. Great getaway for the pole man, Riley Dickinson. Workman, though, perfect start for him, able to clear that out-of-class traffic, and now his only target is the next car in his class, the leader overall, Riley Dickinson. Look at them fan out, though, 2-3 wide on this long run down in the brake zone for turn 5.
Tosi trying to make some moves there in that bright blue and orange Mustang at the same time, halfway down the Marine sweep. Oh, moved down to the inside by one of the BMWs.
That was Craven there, one of the front runners, the front runner really in the Pro-Am class. We're on board now with Kevin Bohm. 6th place starting position for Kevin. Autotechnic, the team. They've been chopping at the bit, trying to get back on track. This long break has done them no favors, but pretty good start here for Kevin.
Yeah, they've certainly been working on that Autotechnic car, so they didn't roll off the track quickly, but certainly been working on it and getting it into its sweet spot here come race time.
McLaren and Ford side by side. That's for the battle, and is the battle for the lead, rather, in the Pro-Am class. And looks like the 94 is in the mix as well, Sam Craven. So 3 front runners in Pro-Am effectively nose to tail after Gaples got swallowed up at the initial start.
Everyone just trying to settle in here. Hitting these high-speed corners. Wow, that was a wild one there. I think I may have been Sam Craven in the backdrop. They're getting wide there through the kink.
Here comes Tosi taking a peek to the inside of Gaples. Not able to get alongside the McLaren, though. Down to Canada corner. Again, 1, 2, 3 in the Pro-Am class. That's how they run. 7th, 8th, and 9th overall. But it's Gaples leading that pack.
Yeah, Tony's just got to settle in here. He started from the front row, and as you can see, he's dropped back to about 7th or 8th right now overall in this field, but still leads the Pro-Am. That's the factor here. Just focus on the big picture of the championship, not the overall results, as dust is flying off of turn 14.
It's Tony's first time to feel out this car with that extra ballast that was handed their way in qualifying. There's his teammate, Michael Cooper, who hopes that by the end of this race today, he will become the winningest driver in SRO America history. Tied the legend Peter Cunningham for that honor in the most recent race at Road Atlanta.
Good little battle developing here between Yves Baltas and Austin Jers.
Baltas took that position away in turns 1, 2, and 3. Jers trying to fight back. That's another one of those McLarens that was so quick in qualifying. Jers does blitz back by to the outside, and wow, that got really tight just behind. That's Kevin Bohm, I believe, looking for a way through. Yes, it is, and he does find a path to the inside.
Yeah, that was really nicely done there. Beautifully judged by Kevin.
Sights and sounds from on board. Climbing turn 6, this is 7. Using up that grass creep that's there at the exit of the corner. That's a new addition for this year. We saw it installed here at Road America in the kink a year ago, and it's been added to a few other places as well. Gives a little more room for recovery should things start to go amiss for one of these drivers.
Get used to the Nola Sport livery essentially on the 28 car here today, with Pompelli driving that backup machine for RS1.
There it is, coming through the shot. Sits 6th overall. And dust getting kicked up here around the track. That has to be unsettling.
Big time. When you're a driver just deciding to get ready for the kink, and when there's dust in the air, it definitely unsettles you a little bit.
Dropping a little further back, and we find the front runner in the AM class, mixing it up. There's several of them all here together, actually. 1, 2, 3 in AM started this lap all next to one another. Frankie Muniz just coming through the shot and has had a really nice start.
Here comes Alan Patton. He's starting to make some moves. Been driving really well this summer, running a couple of championships, and is really on form. He's always had speed, but I think he's really settled down now. Maybe under the tutelage of Mark Miller is kind of steering him in the right direction of how you run these races. He's been doing a brilliant job.
Field comes around to complete the second lap. Riley Dickinson continues to lead, but Weston Workman has run him down. There was next to nothing between the two of them at the line the last time, and here they are. Dickinson forced on the defensive. Workman set the fastest lap of the race by nearly 0.4 of a second the last time around.
And he gets a big run through turn 3, just turned in at the normal spot, whereas the protective line by Riley may compromise his exit speed a little bit.
He sits in the slipstream here, trying to take that Supra around Dickinson, who is not in the championship fight. He's not a full-time driver. Neither, though, is his full-time teammate, Erica Hoffman. Workman, though, very much is. Started the season very strong, but has a bit of a gap to overcome at this stage with less than 6 races to go in the campaign.
Top 6 runners are from the silver class. Kevin Bohm is up on the wheel. He is moving forward at a rapid rate here for the Autotechnic Racing BMW.
There is Erica Hoffman watching her car lead this race from pole position. Best finish so far this year, a 4th in that endurance race. When she was partnered with Riley Dickinson, that was Circuit of the Americas back in May. Or was that April, actually? I think it was.
Long duration carousel corner really puts a heavy load on these left side Pirelli tires. Baltus is hanging on at P3. Bohm is pressuring him. And Austin Jur's done a brilliant job there, sitting in P5. He's actually catching Bohm and Baltus as we speak, and has escaped the clutches of Pumpelly. So Pumpelly a little bit of a surprise, dropping back here a little bit.
Problem back of the pack. That's Michael Petramalo who's gone for a spin. I believe that's at the exit of the carousel.
Certainly looks that way. Something's adrift on the left side there. Just the body sill there, just behind the left front wheel.
Other than that, though, it looks like he was able to get away with it, dropping some gravel, so that tells you he spent a little bit of time off in one of the gravel traps. But able to continue on, back to the front of the pack, where Dickinson's lead over Workman has stabilized somewhat. Meanwhile, Bohm is under assault. That's Austin Jurs who's run him down in that shiny chrome-colored McLaren.
Yeah, it looked like Bohm was just in one direction moving forward through this field, and suddenly the McLaren driver has caught him and put him under pressure there.
Oh, and he goes a little wide, does Kevin, that time. That might hurt his momentum off of turn 3. Under the Sargento Bridge they come, and Jurs puts the power down nicely. He's got that move made nice and early, but immediately forced to go on the defensive. He knows Kevin's going to try to counterattack.
Yeah, he does. Kind of protects there a little bit middle of the road. That's all legit, just nice and proactively done there. So it's when you react to the driver behind, you're going to get the call from the race director. But young Austin did a really nice job there, recognizing that he may be under threat in the brake zone.
Scraps throughout this field. Top 6 cars from the silver class. Then Tony Gaples, just in the background there, has some breathing room. He's been able to drop Michael Tosi over the last lap or so, and Sam Craven settling in to a solid 3rd place. Those are the top 3 in the Pro-Am class. Then it's Bruno Colombo, 10th overall. He's 7th in silver, just ahead of the AM class leader, which is now Chris Wilson. Frankie Muniz, though, has driven himself up to 2nd place, and then James Walker Jr., the championship leader, sits 3rd.
Yeah, James Walker Jr. put the car on the pole in class, and they're in a fierce battle now. The Garcia brothers, who sit one position back in P4. Yeah, big one here on the right-hand side. Looks like the hood is up on the machine. I can't quite tell which car it is right now, but caution has run. Long way from the point where you can hit pit lane for that mandatory driver change. That happens earliest times. Let's just try and identify here.
I think that could be the Brian Herta car.
I think it is.
Chiocchetti started that machine. And at last check, it was shown down in 28th overall.
Earliest time he can hit pit lane is with 36 minutes and 31 seconds on the board. It's a 91-second minimum time on pit lane, which would leave 35 minutes on the other side, which is the maximum drive time. But you burn a lot of minutes here during a full course yellow with the length of this racetrack, of course.
Stripling had to start out back. He's up 9 positions into that 22nd position. There he is. Still some work to do, though, to get to the rest of the front runners in the M class. Stripling will benefit from this full course yellow to try and close up with the rest of the pack after the misfortune that struck that team in qualifying earlier this morning. But we wait for the cleanup to take place. Again, I believe it was Alessandro Chiocchetti that had the incident exiting the kink. Heavy damage to that car. And our first thoughts are with Alessandro. Hopefully he's all right. Safety crew has made its way to the car. Good to have the Brian Herta team here this weekend. They debuted at Road Atlanta back in June. Finishes of 13th and 9th in the Pro-Am class for Chiocchetti and Mason Filippi. And there is the driver out of the car, taking the gloves off, obviously frustrated. And you can see a lot of damage done to the number 49.
Yeah, it's a hefty hit. I'm not sure if you loop back across the racetrack. If you drop wheels on the left, sometimes you can just spear in on the right-hand side. That's where the majority of the debris is. So I suspect that was what's happened here. If you do run wide through there, you just got somebody just try and keep it straight and ride it out.
Penalty, by the way. Just saw this pop up on timing and scoring to Muzaffar Ghafarov and Ross Poole. Their AM class entry from ACI Motorsports was found guilty of a pre-race procedure infraction. They'll have a 30-second longer pit stop when they come in the next time by. That is a big one. Tough to come back from that.
Just to get back to that pit window when it opens so you can do the driver change at the right time. 36 minutes and 31 seconds left in the race would be the earliest time. If we're still yellow at that point, they'll probably delay that pit window opening and shift it a little bit.
That's definitely a possibility given the fact that the cleanup looks like it still has a ways to go. We're approaching having to think about that, but still a little ways off at this stage. Do want to mention, fastest lap of the race right now belongs to Austin Jers in 4th place. So even with the extra ballast, there's still ample pace, it would seem, in these McLarens.
Yeah, he's done a 2:17.2. Riley Dickinson's best is a 2:18.2. So certainly there's pace in the McLaren. Looking at Tony Gapel's fast lap is a 2:18 flat. So not like it's completely shut them down in terms of performance. It's going to be a bit of a steeper fight than they anticipated after the qualifying form that they had. See the drivers here just weaving around. It's not really to create tired temp as much as just cleaning them off. And you have the marbles, sort of like the shreds of rubber that sit on the outside of the racetrack. These like making a big snowball on a winter's day, and those tires just currently pick all that stuff up, and I mean, you got zero grip when you're heading in the first corner after a restart.
We've also seen several cars go off track and bring back some gravel, some grass, so plenty to clean off the race tires. A hot race tire will pick up just about anything that it drives over, and when we go back to racing, if you haven't cleaned that off, you could probably explain better than anybody. What does that feel like if you don't have the tires in their proper condition going into a restart?
Well, it's almost like going out on cold tires or suddenly hitting a damp patch. You just turn in and the fronts aren't there, and then when you try and go back to power, you're not got the grip. So it's really important. It's a lot easier to clean off the fronts, just violent scrubbing going down the straightaways, and then the odd burnout coming off the corners will do it on the rears. But yeah, you just got to be on top of things. It's important right now under any caution is not to fall asleep as a driver. Just really prep those tires the best way you can. Keeping temperature is not such an issue, even though you might find on the last lap just riding the brake pedal a little bit to make sure you do have some temperature when it's go time.
Just past the quarter mark in this 1 hour race. Again, still a little ways from that de facto pit window opening up, and if the yellow should extend into that, it could be pushed back to a little bit later on in the race to give 10 minutes of time for those pit stops to take place. Saw some safety equipment out on the track as well, so some work yet to be done. Single car incident, as far as we're aware. Only one car stopped on the track at the very least. Alessandro Chiocchetti down at the exit of the kink, bringing out this full course yellow, the first we've had of the race here so far. Let's talk about the championship situation coming into this race here, Calvin. We'll start in the silver class, where on the strength of 5 consecutive wins, Luca Mars, Spencer Pumpelly, they had a pretty comprehensive lead, but they find themselves down in 6th here at the moment, and that has them a bit on the back foot. We'll cover that story in just a moment, but first we've got a chance to hear from someone down in the pit lane. Let's go down to Amanda.
Well, Erica, you've been able to watch on and watch your co-driver lead this pack, and I know we're under full course yellow conditions right now, but what do you see out there that gives you guys excitement today?
Yeah, no, Riley's been doing an awesome job. Really grateful to be here with Kelly Moss. It's just fun to see our car in the lead, and he's been doing a great job, so excited for the rest of this race.
We talked a little bit yesterday at the parade. It's not just racing for you here this weekend. Well, what's going on?
Yeah, we have Big Brothers Big Sisters with us this weekend. We're super excited to welcome a bunch of the youth here. Big thank you to True Stage and Terrence Williams for making that possible, and we're showing all the behind the scenes of motorsports and all the different roles involved.
Well, I'll let you get back. I know you're about to put your helmet on. When I got over here, guys, I just want to clean up a couple things as well. I did sneak down to Bimmer World. They were by the wall to assess the damage on that BMW from Michael Petromalo. They did elect to keep him out there. Imagine he'll stay out there after this full course yellow as well. And then one story I wanted to talk about also with Spencer Pumpelly, was able to catch up with him prior to the race, saying that he feels a little gun shy, but the team has been really supportive and kind of reminded him, hey bud, you haven't wadded up one of my race cars since 2017.
It's a pretty good track record Spencer brings to the table. He is a pro's pro and has so much experience, and with that in mind, not someone that makes a whole lot of mistakes, so it probably does come as a bit of a shock for him to have an incident the way that he did earlier in the weekend.
Yeah, when you're in the zone like they are, 5 wins on the bounce, including the 3 hour back at Coda, so they seemed invincible, and suddenly this sport will shake you up a little bit. And, even Spencer, with his experience and his speed, is admitting that, okay, a little bit on edge right now. I don't understand how that happened, but nonetheless, you just got to dust yourself off. As you said, they've had such a strong run, that GT4 silver class is in their hands right now with those 5 victories, 39-point lead over Gonzalez and Workman. But, you know, there's some big swings here. We've still got 6 races to go, including this one today, and Western Workman's in great shape. They're sitting in P2, so it's going to be a handy cut into that championship lead if they finish as they sit right now.
Also in the silver class, this entry here from Kelly Moss with Lonnie Unser, Ashley Freiberg, teaming up once again. Down the order a little bit here today. 25th overall, 8th in the silver class. And a few moments ago, we got a glimpse of Laura Hayes as well, driving her M-Class entry. This one right here, in fact, the Mercedes-AMG GT4. Laura, a race winner in GT4 American competition going back to Barber Motorsport Park 1 year ago.
Yeah, Mercedes teams feel they're a little bit on the back foot here this weekend, but we'll have to see how the adjustments made post-qualifying will change the whole field. But yeah, certainly great to see such a great female presence in our championship right now, and all those ladies are really quick.
Yep, they're here for a reason, and all of them with pretty impressive resumes getting to this point. Michael Cooper's getting ready to go now.
Got his gloves on, I think.
He might be, yeah, and he's come for a fight, so He's got those gloves going on, and we'll see him in that car at the earliest opportunity. Amazing to hear his mindset, and he's been super open, super candid in his interviews all year long. It feels like there's something to prove for Michael here this year.
I think there is. I mean, I think he's a driver that, I wouldn't say drives with a chip on his shoulder because he's achieved so much, but he's always out to prove himself. And I think that gives him that little edge, that punch that you sometimes need as a race car driver. Every time he jumps behind the wheel, he wants to go out and sweep the floor with everyone, and they certainly did it at the last round of the championship. We talk about striking while the iron is hot. Well, we had 3 teams sweep the weekends at Road Atlanta, one to increase the championship lead. We talked about Luca Mars and Spencer Pumpelly and others in the Pro-Am and the Am categories did it to tighten up their chase of the championship lead.
Exactly, and that has made for a compelling run to the checkered flag of the season, the metaphorical checkered flag. There's Tyler Stone. He's getting ready to go for tech sport. Frankie Muniz in his Mustang at the moment, so they'll be swapping over during that pit stop. And Frankie, the big mover here early in the race, one of them certainly up 5 positions and sitting right behind his class leader. I know that they are keen to get a win before the season is done. Started the year with a runner-up finish, got on the podium, then a bit of a drought. Most recent podium came in race 2 at Road Atlanta, but for Frankie Muniz and Tyler Stone, this could be a big opportunity for them to get a big result.
Yeah, car seems quick. We saw them at dinner last night with Kevin Anderson, who's the team owner there at Tech Sports. So they're working well as a group. The chemistry is there. They feel they can go a little bit better than they've achieved already this season, you would think.
That's the goal, no doubt about that. Saw a car, I think, make the dive to the pit lane. A couple cars coming in.
Yeah, that's too early.
Unless, are we in a position where they could sit in the pit lane because time spent in the pit lane doesn't count towards their drive time? Are they stealing a march on the field here?
Yeah, they could, because it's such a long lap here. So by coming in right now, and you got to sit still for basically 3 minutes, but with a pace lap behind the safety car longer than that. What was the last
3 minutes, 51 seconds.
Yeah, so they've played a great little ace up their sleeve here by recognizing that ability. And you're on top of it, Ryan, where you can come in, don't just do the service the minimum time. You're going to sit still here. Otherwise, that driver going out is going to exceed 35 minutes drive time. But this is a real nice ploy that these teams have gone for.
Yeah, this is a really brilliant strategic call, and I think only a couple of teams were on it here. 3 cars shown as in the pit lane at the moment. This is a really clever read of the rule book and understanding how long a pace lap takes here at Road America. So strictly speaking, right, if you do your fastest stop that you possibly could, you would be out of the pits too soon, as Calvin says, to hit the drive time regulations. But because time spent in the pit lane doesn't count, you can sit there and, you know, with everybody bunched up behind the safety car, you should be able to catch back up. And then when those that haven't pitted yet come in, you cycle straight to the front.
Yeah, and the other option is, even if you went early, you could come back in with everyone, but not do a service and just cycle back to the front to take some of that drive time. Obviously, you mentioned when you're on pit lane, that does not count.
We've seen this a handful of times over the years. I seem to remember a race at VIR where this came up in years past. And, you know, you look at the rules as they're written and you think, well, what room really is there for a strategist to have an impact in one of these races? The rules are pretty tightly written, but in certain circumstances, if you're quick on your feet, you can really reap the rewards.
Yeah, and with the length of the lap here and how long it takes, almost 4 minutes. At 60-mile-an-hour average. So see, it's getting cleaned up here, so we're pretty close to getting back to green flag action, but with that service already been taken care of, so Black Dog are going to react a lap later. I think there'll be everyone else peeling down pit lane as well, as that time is now met if you're just on pit lane the minimum amount of time.
Here's where this strategy doesn't work so well. We're not as close, or we're about to restart the race here. It still should be all right.
Because everyone else has got to come in and do that under green if we go back to green. So you're still in great shape if you took that earlier strategy.
Yeah. Well, we are coming to the restart here. Safety car has accelerated away, and we'll soon see how this cycles through.
You will see some of the teams that have a really fast driver on board right now potentially stay out and just use these 10 minutes or so to see what sort of gap they can pull.
And this should be fascinating to watch the strategies diverge. Coming around to restart the race after a lengthy full course yellow. Good news, Alessandro Chiocchetti walked away from the scene of the incident. Here comes Riley Dickinson, the pole sitter, the overall leader, coming up the hill to take the green flag and restart the race. And look at the Oklahoma Land Rush that's making its way down the pit lane here. Everyone slamming on the brakes as they enter that speed trap right there.
This is where it's gone a little bit sideways for these teams. They got held at pit lane, so by cutting it so close, it's gone back to green. And now they've effectively gone down a lap.
Yeah, now we'll see if they can get back around before this group or not.
Your safer ploy would have been to have gone, stayed on the lead lap, and come back through the pits again.
Right.
I think by trying to leave it so close to that 35-minute mark, they've allowed themselves to go a lap down.
Well, depending on how close they felt the track was to being restarted, that was the gamble that they played there. We'll see which strategy ends up being the best one. Here comes the driver change for Black Dog. Michael Cooper trying to make some history, and that will be in his hands here. If he can win today, he becomes the winningest driver in SRO America history, standing all by himself, breaking a tie with the legend Peter Cunningham.
And what a perfect place to do. It's the home track for this team, for P.D. Cunningham, the driver who you'd break that record for. He has so much history here at Road America. All to play for, though. There's a lot to play out here with the different strategies on board. Again, for those teams who are sitting on pit lane, they are trying to wait to that 35 minutes to go. I think you should have gone and then come down pit lane again would have been the optimal call, because they're now down a lap. And the problem with the length of a lap here, which is like in the 2:15 range, your pit stop time is 91 seconds.
Right.
You're not going to make up that lap.
Yep. I didn't think we were that close to the restart. That's why I thought they had played a blinder. But as it turns out, it looks like the conventional wisdom might have been the prudent wisdom here in race number 1 today. Here comes this field. All but the top 8 cars, by the way, have taken their pit stop here immediately. Michael Cooper on the attack here. Tires already warmed up because there are no tire changes in GT4 America, only driver changes during the pit stops.
Yeah, and he's going to have the bit between his teeth. He made a statement pre-race like, watch me now, and we're going to see a show here from Michael Cooper this afternoon, that is for sure.
Battle here between BMW and McLaren. These were two cars very much in the fight in the opening stint. Driver change aboard the 94. And that should be Thomas Merrill, who is moonlighting for Kenton Cook here today. Congratulations to Kenton and Danny for the new addition to the family.
Yeah, their daughter Emma Lynn was born at 2:02 a.m. this morning, so congratulations to the whole Cook family. It's just amazing news, and I know he's somewhat disappointed to lose that championship lead. He's going to split with Sam Craven for the rest of the year, but this is a big moment in their world, and congrats to everyone involved.
That one will be popular in the paddock, no doubt about it. Here comes Cooper now, chasing down the Luca Mars-driven Porsche. Again, this is an RS1 stickered NOLA Sport car that is after they were forced to the backup. Meanwhile, we have a pit lane speed violation penalty that's been handed down to the 17 machine. That's the rigid speed BMW, Lucas and Joe Catania. They'll have a stop and go to serve. That is huge for them. Effectively takes them out of contention.
Yeah, and you see this team, 28 car electing to, a 68 car electing to stay out. Rafa Racing here, an extra lap, kind of getting that clean lap by Western Workman there. He's going to turn it over to Gonzalez.
Here come the front runners of those that have pitted.
Again, you can go another 2 laps. I don't think you can get 3 more before you come to pit lane. Got to be 25 minutes or more on the board when you hit pit lane.
How about this? That later pit stop seems to have been pretty darn good for Rafa, for ACI. Here comes Cooper to the inside. He gets around the Luca Mars car, takes that position away.
Remember, they had track position on these cars before as well, so I think it's pretty even in terms of how it played out.
But that pass, that was for position, was it not? No, that is not. Those are 2 different classes, aren't they? So, a couple of silver class cars, 1, 2. Then the Pro-Am leader, that's Michael Cooper, in pursuit of history here today. Still waiting on 4 cars to make their pit stop, including the overall leader, the pole sitter, Riley Dickinson, and then 3 from the AM class that are running long. Frankie Muniz, Chris Wilson, Laura Hayes, all extending this opening stint. And here is the leader, Riley Dickinson, as Muniz has peeled off into the pit lane.
Yeah, and he'll do 2 more laps here. You just want to extend that stint for someone who's got the speed of Riley Dickinson. Certainly his teammate is going to do a great job, but nonetheless, you want to maximize Riley's time. They really didn't need that yellow. It's going to compromise them a little bit in terms of their overall race result, I think.
Yeah, they would have loved to see this race go green, use Riley's speed to build a gap that Erica then could manage for the rest of the race. But they're still trying to take advantage of Riley's drive time as long as possible. Tyler Stone getting ready to climb aboard the Ford Mustang for Tech Sport. Could this be their breakthrough day?
Absolutely. Cars had good speed this weekend. All hands on deck there. You got the driver assist and Frankie wanting to get his hands in there as well.
Tyler's home race coming up next. Native of Birmingham, Alabama. So Barber Motorsports Park, couple of races next on the calendar. Meanwhile, Michael Cooper has run down his next target, Jimmy Cheebre, ACI Motorsports Porsche, and look at this McLaren go. Great run out of 14, poles alongside of Jimmy. 2 cars in different classes here, so they'll have to keep their heads about them and realize this really isn't a fight worth fighting, and it's not really much of a fight, is it? Cooper is clear.
Yeah, he's on a mission right now. He's trying to create a gap on Thomas Merrill, who, as we said, has been drafted in for Kenton Cook here today. Done a really nice job setting in P2, but like 3 positions back overall in this field right now as they run. So Cooper's got a handy margin over that next place car in class.
Oh, big lunge here. These are front runners in the AM class. Garcia working on Stone. Stone straight out of the pits and into the battle for the class lead up against the hottest team in the AM class. Winners of the last handful of races. The brothers Garcia, Michael and Alex.
Nice thing is when you do jump on board in one of these GT4 races, the tires are staying on, so you're not going to have fresh rubber, but you got hot rubber. That allows you to just focus on hitting your mark, not trying to build temperature.
Still not an easy feat to get parachuted into a fight for the lead as soon as you're out of the pits. No time to get your bearings, Tyler. You got to go.
Yeah, you do.
Garcia looking to the inside here. Again, this is effectively the fight for the lead in AM. They're the top 2 in their class that have made their stops. Still waiting on Wilson and Hayes. Wilson's had good pace here this weekend. Hayes, they've been looking for a little bit more. That's out of that Mercedes camp. There's Frankie Muniz, big smile on his face. You think he had fun in his stint?
Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. He's got so much passion for racing. Absolutely embraced it as soon as he got some seat time many moons ago, and runs in trucks and just loves being at the racetrack.
Sure does. Came up through single-seaters. As far as Formula Atlantic, 1 step below Champ Car as it was back then. Oh, it's
Tyler's
goes
wide.
deep. That opens the door. Garcia is through to the lead.
Wow.
The de facto lead, that is.
Yeah, Frankie's not going to like what he's seeing there. Marcus Hasselgrove looking on, giving that team engineering direction. Now you've got into the ABS there. If you got into that brake zone a little bit too deep and that ABS kicks in, it takes away braking force to the race car and you have to use a wider line to survive.
Still waiting on a handful of cars to make their stops. And that'll give us a better sense for how the strategy has cycled through. This is Harry Gottsacker now moving to the inside of Tyler Stone. Gottsacker in a Pro-Am class entry, 7th in class at the moment, able to clear the de facto 2nd place car in AM.
Yeah, we're going to be see Riley Dickinson peeling off here and heading to pit lane. Only just shy of 26 minutes to go. You could not do more than 35 minutes in this motor race, so they've executed this perfectly again. I think the yellow will hamper their overall possibilities here today, but nonetheless a really strong run for Kelly Moss.
Here comes Riley Dickinson, who's done exactly what he's been tasked to do, filling in for Paul Bocuse this weekend, who's starting his college career at Florida Atlantic University, so he's an Owl. But Riley, part of the Kelly Moss team for quite a while, staying out as long as he could in this stint, and now Erica Hoffman will have the task of taking it to the checkers.
Yeah, and we'll see how this cycles through here in terms of the different strategies that were employed.
Riley out.
That's where it gets tricky when you got two teammates working together under the pressure of the race scenario versus just practicing it in pit lane.
And these are not full season teammates either, so how much have they worked together on the choreography of that driver exchange? Meanwhile, this is for the lead of the group that has made their pit stops. Tyler Gonzalez has it. Michael Cooper would like to take it away. Each leaders in their respective classes as well. Gonzalez in the silver class, Cooper in Pro-Am.
And again, we've got a new record on the line here. Tied Petey Cunningham with the sweep of the weekend at Road Atlanta.
Coming out of the pit lane. Let's see, Gonzalez and Cooper sweeping by, start finish. There's Dickinson, that Hoffman now leaving the pit lane. That battle is done and dusted. Here comes Cooper to the inside for the overall lead of the race, and he's through. How hard does Gonzalez want to fight this, knowing they're not in the same class? I suspect not too hard at all. Michael Cooper, who told us he's got plans to drive at a new level of aggression here today. Not sure that's been needed entirely. He's just had the pace to pull away from people and has that track position now.
Seems like this Dome machine is not up to speed right now as they accelerate away from turn 8.
That would be Mark Miller now driving the car that Alan Patton started. I'm with you. That car does not look like it's up to full speed.
It's gradually getting going now. It's, yeah, I think he may be up to speed now, but didn't have the acceleration. So whether it's just a stuck in gear type thing, or couldn't select the lower gear coming through one of the tight corners like turn 8, but nonetheless, he seems to be okay right now. Side by side up the hill.
And this
turn
is
6.
This is for the AM class lead here. Chris Wilson had run long in that stint. It's now Zach Lumsden, who's in the second of the two BMWs coming through the shot. Garcia able to get by and take the lead back. And next has as a target Erica Hoffman in a silver class car. She's come down through the field a little since taking over. As that car come out, 13th at the moment. That's the AM class leader just behind.
Yeah, their pit stop was about 8 seconds off there. We talked about that, two teammates working together for the first time in terms of that driver change, and that cost them dearly on pit lane. So Erica Hoffman's pit stop time was 8 seconds slower than the minimum.
Now they'll be kicking themselves for that, because this is the early pace-setting car. That was super close between Lumsden and Hoffman, and here comes Godsacker. He really wants through this out-of-class traffic.
He does. Kind of wedging his way in there, almost some argy-bargy down there in Canada corner.
That was aggressive, but it was effective. Godsacker is clear of at least 2 of the cars. Hoffman with a little wiggle there at the exit of 14, and Lumsden's trying to size her up now for a move. Not for class position, though, with just under 22 minutes to go.
Okay, so all pit stops have been completed. Don't see anyone shy of the minimum stop time, but we'll double check that one, so shouldn't be any penalties for being underneath.
Only one I saw, it was a minor penalty, about a second post-race to Rowan Crines. He and Stephen McAleer just slightly under the minimum.
You're right, they are 130 plus, so.
Here's the battle for the final podium spot in Pro-Am. And it looks to me, Mateus Laced has the lead in this fight, holds the 3rd position in the class. But we've got a couple contenders giving chase, including Ryan Eversley, Ryan Yardley. Rowan Crines also in the mix.
Look at Mars there going through turn 8. Get the Nola Sport cars mixed up here.
Yeah, you're right. Apologies there.
Cooper out front, overall leading Pro-Am. Then it's 3 silver cars led by Gonzalez.
New co-driver for Austin Jers this weekend, Parker DeLong.
Who's never good at that curb on the entry there to the King.
Had a
Doesn't
local
venture
yellow.
too far away from that.
Saw a local yellow there at the corner stand just after the King. Don't know what that was for. But Parker DeLong at the back of this battle. See him in Toyota GR Cup this year. Sits in his McLaren, giving that a nice ride in his first stint for the team. This is a couple of Ryans fighting it out right here. Ryan Yardley, Ryan Eversley, 10th and 11th overall, just off the podium in Pro-Am. Orange Porsche, that's Yardley. And then it's the super giving chase. Ryan Eversley behind them, Rowan Crines. That's also part of this class battle, but they're on the alternate strategy, having started their pro.
Yeah, Eversley came away from a test here a couple of weeks ago, buoyant that they'd sort of turned the corner in terms of finding the setup. Got here this weekend, the racetrack was completely different, had to reassess, work on the setup. They also cracked an oil sump over one of the grass-free curbing extensions that we now have here at Road Americas. That was obviously an area of concern for the team, but top 5 right now is a solid run.
Side-by-side fight here. Oh, big lunge down the inside. Jimmy Gibre fighting his way by Luca Mars. That is for second place in silver. Thomas Merrill, interested spectator, just behind. Second place in the Pro-Am class. That's the Random Vandals BMW.
Yeah, Luca didn't seem to fight that too badly. Just that was a big, bold move there by Jimmy down to the inside, and Lucas is just regrouped here, just following in his footsteps, so to speak.
Good drive here from Jimmy. His first season racing in GT4 America. Plenty of single-make Porsche experience. At the front of the field, though, how about this pace from Michael Cooper? Building a lead, 1.8 seconds over the next closest car, and that's in a different class. So Cooper almost in a class of his own. Let's hear from his teammate. Tony Gaples is with Amanda.
And Tony, we heard Michael's words ahead of this race on the grid. Who is Michael Cooper when he races mad?
Well, he definitely uses a lot of equipment up when he races mad, but I don't think he's too mad out there right now. He's always pretty level-headed, so I suspect he's just doing his thing out there, having some fun.
Calvin was saying that Michael almost races like he has something to prove. What do you think his legacy will be on this paddock?
Boy, in my opinion, he's going to go down as the best driver ever to be here, but he's definitely going to go down as one of the best, for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hard to argue with that, especially because he encapsulates the entire SRO ecosystem, right? Coming up from touring cars, winning at the GTS, GT4 level, won a Sprint X championship at effectively the GT3 level when he was affiliated with Cadillac.
Yeah.
Hard to find a driver with that kind of sustained success at each step along the ladder.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a irony, right? I say he drives like he's got everything to prove, but he's got nothing to prove with the amount of titles and now race wins, a record and potential win record by himself here today. But I think he loves that intensity. He loves to get fired up and just get in that race car and just want to dig deep and show everyone that he wants to clean their clock literally every single lap of this race. And he didn't like the fact that they got hit with a bit of weight following their qualifying run, and he's had to make a statement here. But conversely, you can say, well, if we hadn't put the weight on, you'd be even further down the road.
I look at his lap time, right? His best time, a 2:16.9. The cars behind, 2:17.8, 2:17.9, 2:18.1. I mean, he is in a league of his own here this weekend.
Be careful, he could get another 35 tonight.
Is there a place to put 35 more kilos in a McLaren? I'm not sure there is.
Yeah.
Looking at comparison between the top two overall, Cooper and Gonzalez. Lost in all of this talk about Michael is what a breakthrough this could be for Rafa Racing and their silver class entry here. They're second in the points, but they've not won since sweeping the first weekend of the year at Sonoma. 39 points out of the championship lead. They need a weekend like this.
Yeah, but super consistent now, right? 2 wins plus 4 podiums along the way. But yeah, they need a bounce back. Mars has gotten around Gibray again, so that championship lead is only one position back. But nonetheless, all you can do is go out and win and see how the chips fall after that.
Drop it back to the M class here, and once again, it's Michael and Alex Garcia looking for 4 wins on the bounce. Didn't have much luck at all in the first third of the season, but all of a sudden they've hit their stride, and once they've started winning, it seems like they can't stop.
Yeah, and for James Clay, the championship leader, he's down there in P9 right now, Ryan, so they've got a lot of work to do.
Is that they were one of the teams that tried that strategy, right, at the full course yellow, and the restart coming when it did ended up biting them, and that could have a huge implication on the M-Class Championship as they run.
Again, there was an option for them to go out and come back and roll down pit lane, and that would have taken that time off and not exceeded the 35 minutes. But there's a lot of factors you didn't know when we were going back to green. It looked like the perfect move, but suddenly they got that car off the racetrack and released the hound, so to speak.
Well, if my spreadsheet is correct, a 28-point deficit would turn into a 5-point deficit if they finish as they run. First in the case of the Garcia brothers, and 9th for Clay and Walker Jr. It's not over yet. There's plenty of positions that this car in particular can still make up before this race is all said and done with 14 minutes on the clock. And each pass they make from here on out, if they're able to make a charge up through the field, that helps to mitigate the point loss that they're staring at here.
Yeah, I think anything better than a top 5 might be a stretch there with the time left on the board at 13 minutes. But, you know, James Clay's going to get his head down and see what he can do here in recovery mode.
Doing what he can. Next car ahead is for position. Zafar Gafarov in the ACI car. Oh my
Garcia.
goodness, as we're talking about them,
Wow.
the Garcia car with an apparent mechanical issue off the pace.
Toe link in the left rear is gone.
My goodness, that is huge from the lead in the class, and they were that close, as we were talking about, to cutting deeply into their deficit, and instead they're going to have a hard time getting that car back to the pits.
Yeah, it's going to put Lumsden in the lead right now. And I think with these new grasscrete areas around this race circuit, Ryan, you can really use those to good effect, and you're just punishing these race cars a little bit more. You got to wonder if it's going to be an effect on race cars throughout the course of competing now at Road America.
It's an interesting point you bring up. We had one instance of the grasscrete at the exit of the Kink last year. It's been installed a few other places, but that in the intervening time, we don't have a whole lot of data on what that would do if you use it with some regularity.
I didn't see any body work, like it'd been off the road and hit anything. I assume it's just a suspension breakage that, yeah, parts fail, right? And it could have happened for a previous event where you hit a curb and there's just a weak component that lets go eventually.
Now, that pairing of Lumsden and Wilson, they did win one time last year at VIR. This season, a couple of podiums, but it's been since the since the endurance race at Circuit of the Americas, and they're 46 points out of the lead of the championship in 5th. And with the championship leaders struggling, all of a sudden they're players now.
Then 21.
Yeah.
25 for the win, and well, I guess gotta see how many cars we got. They're 9th right now, so they may pick up a couple of points, but we're 23 points right now.
Well, they'll at least pick up the point by getting by the Garcia car with them dropping out. But yeah, huge opportunity here for Chris Wilson and Zach Lumsden. This is the championship as they run. Judson Holt and Denny Stripling, despite their issues in qualifying, they would jump to 2nd place, 23 points out of the lead. And then it's the Lumsden-Wilson pairing, which would certainly be a lot closer than they were when the day began.
See, the elevation change here just really adds to the challenge and the enjoyment of this race circuit. Then you come out of turn 8 and then you got to tighten those seat belts, because these 2 corners here will definitely test your mettle a little bit.
Let's see if we can learn a little bit about what happened to Garcia here. That car spinning off the track. Now, was that cause or effect? That becomes the question. But immediately afterwards, you've got the toe link issue and effectively the race over.
Yeah, hypothetically, could have been either one, right? You can
Right.
drop the wheel there and break the suspension, or if the suspension breaks and you got toe out in the left rear, it's going to send you for a spin.
Well, whatever the case, it's absolutely heartbreaking for the two brothers who were looking for a 4th consecutive victory. 10 minutes on the clock. Let's head down to the pits once more and check in with Amanda.
And Ryan, you can imagine what Michael's face looked like when I got down here. I did verify that that was the effect of what had happened in that rear suspension with the broken toe leak. In talking to the team, as you were just saying, they've been coming on so strong. Michael with the disappointment. We did remind him that they are on pole in class tomorrow, and that was the only smile that I got out of him. But yeah, total disappointment from the team to end it like this.
Some small solace, I suppose, but the fact that their biggest rivals were having such a dreadful day and they were leading, this could have been a total game changer in the points.
Yeah, absolutely. Could have been almost eliminated that championship lead that Clay and Walker had. So we'll have to see how things shape up, but probably be about a 30-point deficit. But Stripling and Holt are they running right now? So they're running P5. So they'll make up a little bit of ground in the championship chase.
Yep, should jump to 2nd, as we saw on the graphic, depending on how things shake out in the final 9 minutes. Back to the front of the pack, and Jimmy Gibre now under pressure from Josh Green. Gibre in the Porsche, Green in the BMW. They are scrapping over 3rd in silver at the moment. Meantime here, that was James Clay going a little bit wide, fighting for position here with Muzaffar Ghafarov, and this we think would be for maybe 7th position.
P7, yeah.
Yeah.
Catania's about 5 seconds down the road, so if Clay can complete this move and get his head down, potential to catch Catania. I'm not sure he's going to get to Judson Holt, who sits there in P5, though.
Clay up the inside. He's got the preferred line into turn number 5, and the veteran makes that move stick, looking for yet another championship.
Yeah, basically by pitting when they did, but getting held off the lead lap. It cost them about 30 seconds or so. So that's why they're so deep in the pack.
Well, they were one more caution lap from looking really good. And these are the margins that you're working with in top-level racing. Back to this fight here. Race Vision powered by AWS, showcasing the up and down day. Some of that's the pit stop, but nevertheless, for these two cars, final step of the podium up for grabs. Finishing 3rd is a heck of a lot better than finishing 4th, because you get the champagne and you get the trophy.
Finish 4th, your race suit smells a bit better on day 2, but that's the only upside, I think.
A smart driver packs 2, surely, in preparation for that champagne spray. Gibre under duress here, though. Josh Green, car started by Bruno Colombo, who kept that car in contention in his stint, and now Green, the Mount Kisco, New York native, has run down 3rd place. Defending champion, by the way, in the Pro-Am class of this series from a year ago, Josh Green.
Josh Green actually gets assists from Robbie Foley, who competes in GT World Challenge America for Turner Motorsports, of course, but Robbie's one of the mentors in the M Academy, which really supports some of the up-and-coming young BMW proteges, and I think he, along with Paul Sparta, who owns and runs Random Vandals, have got huge moment there by Gibre, and Josh Green slides through and takes that spot very easily. That was a big catch there.
There was a little wiggle from Gibre, and then there was a big wiggle, and that drifted him out nice and wide. That opens the door there for Green to come through in 3rd place. Changes hands in the silver class. That is for 5th overall, by the way.
Point for Green. Having a solid run in the championship, sitting in P4, 74 markers out of the lead.
Every point valuable. We've seen that time and time again. Now to the fight for the lead in silver. 2nd and 3rd overall, Tyler Gonzalez for the Rafa Racing team. They've not won since the very first weekend of the season, despite being fixtures on the podium. Meanwhile, Luca Mars and Spencer Pumpelly, all they've done in recent races is win, and they have caught each other here. This could also be a big swing in the points.
Huge. Luca Mars just took a second out of that gap. He's a second a lap faster than Gonzalez right now. So the championship leader is coming to the front. Pumpelly, a conservative run in the opening stint, just feeling things out. Not sure if they made a tire pressure adjustment to get the car more in balance, but Luca Mars is up on the wheel here.
Gonzalez will have to fend him off for a couple of laps here with the amount of time still left on the clock, and Mars is the man on the move at the moment. Meanwhile, in Tyler Stone has caught and passed Zach Lumsden. Lead has changed hands.
This is huge. Had that little bobble down in turn 12, but he's got his head back down and got Tech Sport Racing and his teammate Frankie Munoz back to the point.
That would be their first win of the season if Tyler was able to hang on.
Luca, what can he do here? Supra versus the Porsche.
These are the only two cars to have won a race in this class all year. The first two went to Rafa Racing Supra, but since then, Luca Mars and Spencer Pumpelly are undefeated. Meanwhile, back a moment ago for the M-Class lead, how about the Mustang down the front straightaway, around the outside and clear before the apex. Fantastic stuff, and Frankie, all he can do is sit and watch and wait. He's staring down the barrel of his first win in a very long time.
Oh, this will be a fun victory lane if they can make it, but you know Lumsden's going to try and dig deep here and respond to Tyler Stone's charge at the front. Certainly displayed the ponies up the front straightaway there in that Mustang.
I talked to Tyler a little bit at the parade yesterday. He said it's a different feeling being able to pull a BMW in a straight line, and he felt like they could do it here this weekend. So he felt like that put them in a place where they had a chance to contend for a good result. Things have certainly fallen into their lap with some problems for other front runners, but they've had good pace this weekend and are just 3 minutes, 15 seconds from capitalizing. Back to the fight for the lead, though, in silver. Gonzalez forced on the defensive. Mars looking inside, now to the outside. Late on the brakes, he's able to get to the flank, but he can't stay alongside the Supra.
Does the crossover, tries to get to the flank of Gonzalez, doesn't do it. Has to tuck back in here on the big run down to the Moraine sweep. 3,800-foot run between the exit of turn 3 all the way down to the brake zone for turn 5.
Tyler's troubles aren't done yet. Looks like Luca got a pretty good run out of turn 3, and again, Gonzalez forced to guard the
Watch
inside
the crossover.
line.
Here he comes. Oh, Gonzalez immediately on the defense. That was great proactive driving there, recognizing he was going to be vulnerable on the exit, but Luca tries to go to the outside. You now got that Grass Creek to work with. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does. He gets to the inside for turn 7. Beautiful move by Luca Mars for the lead.
Luca slides in front and takes the lead of the silver class. Now, Gonzalez, he's desperate. He knows any chance at clawing back in the championship is reliant on him getting back around that Porsche, but Luca Mars has him covered off at the entrance to the carousel. Mars dipping the right side tires into the grass.
Got to wonder if that was intentional, just firing up some dirt onto the tires of that Toyota that follows, but what a beautiful move by Luca Mars. I think he stepped to a whole new level this year.
No doubt about it. Luca Mars driving at an extremely high level, trying to become a champion in a couple different GT4 series here this year at very different cars. He has been outstanding across the board, and he has driven back to the lead, trying to extend their win streak to 6 in a row. Unprecedented stuff from RS1 in the top class of Pirelli GT4 America.
Look at the brain trust there on the Tech Sport pit box there, looking at the numbers, looking at the splits, looking at the sectors. Meanwhile, up front, Cooper, 5.5-second lead. He said he was going to make a statement. Boy, has he done that.
Talk about a statement. Talk about unprecedented. Michael Cooper is 1 lap away from becoming the winningest driver in SRO America history. The most experienced driver in SRO America history. Tony Gaples watches on as Cooper charges through turn 1.
Yeah, almost like a proud father or a proud brother right there. Tony Gaples just watching his charge. Take it across the line, hoping to complete 1 more lap and break that record with P.D. Cunningham here today.
What a perfect venue it would be if Michael were to get it done right here. Home track for the team, home track for the man he would surpass, right now tied with Cunningham. Michael's done a lot of winning here at Road America over the years as well. Frankie Muniz, you can sense the apprehension. He's watching his car go by with 1 lap to go. That's what it means.
That's how much he wants it. Tyler's just got to keep it clean. No mistakes, Tyler. Just bring it home. Hit your marks. But Lumsden has got his head down. He is pushing. He's going to put the pressure on here.
Not done yet. Tyler Stone needs to be perfect on this lap. 2 class battles still up for grabs on the final lap of this 1-hour race. Cooper in command in Pro-Am, but Mars and Gonzalez still within a second of one another. So too this fight, Tyler Stone and Zach Lumsden. Mustang versus BMW, half a lap to go.
Hits his marks perfectly there. Don't overcharge these corners. Don't get that ABS system kicking in and taking control of your machine. Got 2 big brake zones to survive down into turn 8 and turn 12.
Smooth through 6 for Tyler Stone. Now down through 7 as well. Now to hurry downs with Lumsden in hot pursuit. At the front of the field, though, it is Michael Cooper, car that started on the front row today. It'll have the overall pole tomorrow. Ballast sent their way between qualifying and the race. It's made no difference. He's got the fastest lap of the race and a healthy lead. For the 44th time in his career, Michael Cooper will see the checkered flag first. Michael Cooper and Black Dog Speed Shop win. Cooper becomes the winningest driver in SRO America history. He and Tony Gaples will celebrate tonight in Elkhart Lake. Luca Mars holds off Tyler Gonzalez to get the win in silver. The fight is still on in Am. Down to Canada corner, Stone a little bit wide, but Lumsden's not close enough to capitalize.
It's going to be tough. Turn 14, it's hard to make a move here. Tyler's just got to keep it clean. Keep a clean exit here and use the grunt of that Mustang up this long stretch here to the flag. 1
corner to negotiate, and Tyler Stone does it perfectly. Little bit of dust kicked up in the face at the pursuing Zach Lumsden, and plenty of breathing room for Tyler Stone, who joins Frankie Muniz on the top step of the podium for the first time. Tech Sport takes the AM class at Road America. Let's hear from Frankie Muniz now. Amanda is in the middle of that celebration.
And look at this team taking it in. Frankie Muniz with eyes, just tears rolling down your eyes. I'm just happy to see you breathing after seeing there. How long have you thought about this moment, Frankie?
Yeah, I'm emotional because I've honestly had kind of 2 of the worst weeks in my entire life, to be honest. Came here really low, had a good day yesterday, felt really good today. So to get this win is, I mean, thank you, God, my team, Ford. This is unbelievable. I feel so incredible. I'm so excited for Tyler. He drove so good, and this is amazing. This is amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's a racer at heart, no doubt about it. Congratulations, Frankie Muniz, a winner in Pirelli GT4 America.
Oh, awesome. Just love the emotion, love his passion for this sport. Great for Tyler Stone, too. He's one of the true gentlemen in our paddock, and is huge for the whole group.
I think that was Chris Ward from Ford there to congratulate. And Frankie, no, we are not kidding. You are a race winner, and well deserved. I mean, Frankie drove that car close to the top 10 overall in his stint. He really did a nice job. But all the headlines today are going to be about this pairing, Michael Cooper, winningest driver in SRO America history. And as we said earlier, he's done it at every level.
He has, just amazing. And he was fired up, and boy, true to his word, he said, watch me go. And we just watched him dominate this motor race. And for this group as well, Luca Mars, Spencer Pumpelli, what a rebound after a difficult day yesterday in a backup machine. Extend that win streak even further now. Was it 6 on the bounce?
Yes, 6 in a row. They have not failed to win since the first 2 races of the season, which went to Rafa Racing. That's the trouble. You know, we talked about the fact that Tyler Gonzalez, Weston Workman, they've been very consistent. They've been on the podium a whole bunch, but their rivals have been winning and winning and winning 6 times in a row. Just remarkable.
Butterflies in the air. Butterflies in Frankie Muniz. tummy there for a while there over those last couple of laps with his teammate just hanging on.
Well, first to see the checkered flag, first to arrive in victory lane well before anybody else. Michael Cooper about to climb out of his McLaren, and he's been focused on his McLaren programs across multiple championships this year. Feels like that's really helped him. What he learns in IMSA can help him in SRO and vice versa. There is the driver who has done more of this than anyone else in 3+ decades of this championship, going back to the old World Challenge days. Doesn't matter, single driver, two driver, touring cars, GT4 cars, GT3, it really doesn't matter. He's a winner in them all, and Michael Cooper will put that Pirelli winner's hat on, and when he does, that means we have a chance to hear from him now with Amanda Busick.
And there we see the smile with Michael Cooper. And in 2011, you won the Mazda MX-5 championship that got you a seat in 2012 into our series. You would win on debut at St. Petersburg. 14 years later, you're the winningest driver in this series. What does this accomplishment represent for you, Michael?
I mean, I don't know, just perseverance. There's so many ups and downs in this sport, so many bad days and so many good days. You know, I think that's the quietest it's ever been in a race car for me. And then Eric told me, our engineer, like 9 minutes to go or something, and then it got really loud all of a sudden. But I just remember in 2015 being here and with Black Dog guys, and a lap and a half to go, the car just died and had a 4-second lead, but nothing they did. They're amazing, incredible. Here comes Tony Gaples and Ray Sorensen have believed in me all these years, and you know, like you said, 2011 got me the ride in 2012, won on debut, which I didn't expect at all, and then stayed in the series for 2 years. Nick Short gave me the opportunity in a GT car, and Steve Cole and Dave Caldwell noticed me, and then they stuck Tony and Ray with me, and here I am today. So yeah, I have to give massive thanks to Jason Hoover and John Doonan as well that put that program together in 2012. The idea was to go to a single driver championship where you could stand out. I think that's what we've done.
Congratulations to Michael Cooper, the now winningest driver in SRO history.
Remarkable career, and he's still a young man. He still has a lot of winning to do before it's all said and done. He might set a record that is...
Could extend it tomorrow, right?
Well, he could. He probably will, given the pace we've seen out of that car here so far. And if he starts piling up those wins, he could set a record that may never be broken. Remarkable stuff. There's the Tech Sport team celebrating their M-Class win. A look at the provisional results today. 23 laps of racing. Gaples and Cooper by over 6 seconds. Second overall to the winners in silver, Pumpelly and Mars. What a comeback story for them in a backup car on a weekend that started with their primary ending up in the wall.
It was huge. When we looked at the opening stint, we saw Spencer falling back just a little bit. Didn't seem like they had the edge in the car. I'm not sure if Luke was just more in kind of that comfort zone with the race car, or if he made a switch to the tire pressure during the start. But either way, the car came alive, and Luke is just on form right now. The young man has really taken it to a whole new level this year.
Big day in the championship as well for the second placed Pro-Am car. Sam Craven's the full season driver there. Thomas Merrill filling in for the new dad, Kenton Cook, here today, and they put in a really strong performance. Down at 17th overall, that's where you find the winners in the AM class. Muniz and Stone, well done today. Wilson and Lumsden so close to another win, but come up just about a half second short. Tarazzi and Schmid back in the series for the first time in some time. They finish on the M-Class podium as well. Congratulations to them. They'll be back tomorrow for another go-round as we head back down to Amanda.
We're just talking about the battles on track that Luca Mars had here today, and you described it as fun. That's quite an adjective.
Oh, yeah, it was a fun one out there, man. I got in the car, and it was just hectic from the beginning. I mean, the first stint was kind of with that caution, kind of bunched everything together, so I knew right when I got out there I was going to have to go, and step on it. And the guys gave me a great car. Spencer did a great job handing the car over to me. I mean, the car was just super good. As it just kept on going there, everyone's tires started to fall off, and I slowly started to reel in Tyler, and I was like, all right, I think I might be able to catch him here. And a few laps to go there, I was like, all right, I'm close enough. We had some good battles. Shout out to Tyler, man. Super clean battles, a lot of fun, great competitor. And just huge thanks to Nollsport for letting us this car, RS1, for getting this thing set up. And I mean, just an amazing first race for us, huge for the championship. And hope we can do the same thing tomorrow. Hopefully it's a little easier, though.
Spencer, I got over here and you said, can you believe it? And I talked to you prior to the race and you said you were feeling a little gun shy out there. Does this help forgive yourself?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, yesterday I made a mistake and set the team back pretty hard, but most teams were just packed up and left, but these guys never said die. They put a tremendous amount of work in, and then rarely am I in awe of a drive, but that was unbelievable to watch Luca there at the end. So, I really can't say enough. Thanks to everyone in the paddock that helped. Thanks to all these guys that stayed up and just kind of turned what could have been a terrible weekend into a victory to make this, streak of 6 now. And again, it's RS1, it's this guy, it's unbelievable.
Congratulations to those guys, and we're going to head back over to the other side of the half and AM for Tyler Stone, who picks up a win in Pirelli GT4. Describe the moment of seeing that checkered flag for yourself.
Oh, it was incredible, absolutely incredible. To experience that here and having to fight like we had to fight there at the end to keep it, first to get it and then to keep it was just incredible.
And then, Frankie, for one more time, for those that have a dream of becoming a racing driver, what would you say to them?
Oh, I mean, go for it. You only get one life, and that's one thing I've always lived by. There's a lot of things I've wanted to accomplish, and I've just tried to dive in, sometimes off the deep end, and to be here at Road America, my favorite racetrack ever, get a win with Tyler, with Ford, and the Mustang GT4 car. I'm so beyond thrilled, and I love this so much.
Congratulations to Frankie Muniz and Tyler Stone. I think what's really special about this Michael Cooper overall win here for his winningest win in his career is that it was done with Black Dog Racing, a home team here, and alongside his friend, his driver, Tony Gaples. What's this moment like for you, Tony?
Oh, it's always special to win at Road America. Actually, I think it's my first time winning here, so very special, actually. Such a special place up here. I'm just super happy, super pumped. We got another one tomorrow. We hope to repeat.
And another one tomorrow will be with that winningest driver on pole, showing them what he can do.
Yeah, look out is my message to the rest of the field. If he could do that today starting second, well, if you start one place better tomorrow, we'll see how that one plays out. But certainly a history-making weekend for Michael Cooper regardless, and Tony Gaples extends his record as well as the most experienced driver in SRO America history. Quite the pairing, and it has been for quite some time. Race engines have gone quiet here for now in Road America. Let's take a look here at the cars that saw the checkered flag first and what the impact is on the points. After an hour of racing, certainly some shakeups and a couple of close calls. If you look at what might have been in a couple of instances in some of these championship battles, that there's going to be a few teams leaving this weekend, at least leaving today, thinking what might have been.
Oh, yeah, certainly some missed opportunities with some technical issues with race cars. But here we see the standings here in silver, Mars and Pirelli. They're on a roll, and you can see that championship lead, nearly 50 points.
Effectively a 14-point swing when the lead changed hands, because it's 7 points more to win than to finish second. So when those positions changed hands, that was huge. Mars and Pirelli, not quite unassailable, but not far away. Bohm and Seldorf, kind of quiet day, didn't talk about them a whole lot, especially in the second stint. They're still in third place, but they're going to have to fight for third place. Colombo and Green are coming on strong here in the late stages of the season. Other classes to talk about in Pro-Am. Sam Craven now split from Kenton Cook because Kenton couldn't be here today. Again, congratulations to the Cook family on the new addition, but a strong second place position for them effectively sees them extend their lead, Sam's lead. Gaples and Cooper, though, they jumped to second with the win here today, but a long way to go to try and run down Craven for the championship lead. Meanwhile, in the AM class, the win for Muniz and Stone gets them up to third in the championship standings, only 4 points out of second place. Clay and Walker tried the strategy game, didn't quite pay off for them here today, but nevertheless still hold a significant championship lead, leaving race number 1.